journalistas, how are you all? Creative Nana here, and we are going to have some fun today. We've got some awesome, I love this topic that Meri has come up with. It is absolutely wonderful. I have been researching. I couldn't decide what I was going to do, and I finally narrowed it down to one thing right now. Wonder how many of you all have heard of this art style. A style. We know of folk art. We know of pop art. We know of different things going on there. But in my research, I found Pointilism. And you're going, what in the world is Pointilism? Well, got a few examples here to show you. Pointilism. Pointilism is where you take a picture and you literally, look at there, when I zoom out, see the dots? You make a picture from nothing but dots. Isn't that so cool? I thought that that was one of the neatest things when I found it. And I've never done this before. I know some people, there's a new craze out there, diamond art and diamond painting, diamond art. I don't know exactly what it is. I've heard of it, but I've not done it. But I mean, this is just amazing. That just the types of things that they can do. And you can see the dots there. Those are a little bit larger, some sunflowers. But I thought, you know, we could really go somewhere with this stuff. So, that's what we're going to work on. I'm going to use the art style of Pointilism to see what I can do. Well, I've done a little sketching here. No, I cannot draw. But, hey, it's okay. We're going to try. And I decided to do some grapes. And I thought I had my purple out. Well, guess what? Apparently, I got everything out but my purple. That's okay. We'll make blue grapes. What do you think? Do some blue grapes? Because it's not handy right now. And I'm not using anything major. I'm using some leftover paint from some kids' projects. Some washable kids' project paint just to try this today. So I just thought, you know, let's see what happens. So I've got me some tools. Things you've already got. You might have one of these used for some of the yarn type work, fiber work. Of course, we all know the wonderful Dollar Tree brushes that we can use for blending. That's another Dollar Tree brush that we can use for. And then for peeling off type. So those are the ones that I've sort of chosen to try to play with today because they do different styles and different shapes. So I am going to start with my grapes and leaves here. And I'm thinking I'm going to do, like I said, I've never tried this before. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to try it. Nothing but dots. And of course, one thing you need to remember is if you want your dots to be consistent, you would almost have to drop them in every time. How many, I'm just curious, how many of you all, and you can comment, have actually did a lot of research? Those of you that are in the hop, did you do a lot of research on the different types of styles and stuff that's out there, or did you just sort of go with something? I was letting Meri know, and some of you might have seen the message I sent her, that after she gets through with all these in January and February, I think I'm going to have to continue and do some more, because I was so inspired by some of the different things that I saw, some popular artwork that we can actually incorporate into our junk journaling and our mixed media, and techniques that we're already doing, really, to be quite honest, and just sort of connecting them to some art styles. I haven't quite decided which artist, but I think I can't, the list that I quit making, I want to say I had 20 some, over 20 different art styles written down that were popular or common that I stopped. Before, you know, I really stopped when I was doing my research and going through, and I narrowed it down to 5 that I would like to introduce and try. And then I come up with this one. I said, you know what? This could actually be a quite relaxing. I'm a teacher, a special education teacher, and this year, as everybody knows, is so different with the virtual teaching and online and in school, out of school, back and forth. And there's a lot of stress because everything you did before, you have to redo now. Because what worked for in school, it does not work for virtual. And every child is different. So, I'm like, you know, this could be sort of a nice little de-stress. Sit down and do some dots. Pointilism. Focus on the point of it all. There we go. I'm going to focus on the point of it all, and that is de-stressing and enjoying myself with the art of crafting. I'm so afraid I'm going to get into what I'm doing and stop talking, and then you're all just going to be dead silence. Those of you all that have joined for the last hop and saw my video the last time, you sort of saw a little bit of my style. I guess I could share about myself. I did pick up some new subscribers, and thank you all very much for those who did subscribe. I'm going to start getting more active into my channel again and doing videos like I did once before. I really want to do that, and now, thanks to you all, I've got enough subscribers that I can try doing a live video for the first time. So I thought I might jump on here every once in a while and try that out. And if nobody joins me, that's fine. I'll be crafting on my own anyway. So, but I thought I would try that. But you sort of will learn, if you go back and watch some of my videos from over a year ago, I consider myself a DIY crafter, meaning I'm going to craft the cheapest way, possibly free, that I can. I don't buy gesso. I make my gesso, make my texture paste, make my own dies, or use things that are very, very inexpensive to do my dies. So, as well with my papers, a lot of my papers will be created on things that people would definitely throw away, and even maybe some things that most journalers wouldn't even look at. I use images and words. I get them, my words from magazines. And that means a lot of fussy cutting. But I was talking with one of my crafting friends that I just met this past week, and we were sort of talking back and forth on Messenger, and we were saying, you know, how much we both enjoy fussy cutting. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it relaxes me. I enjoy taking a magazine and turning it into usable pieces. I'm hoping I'm not getting out of frame, which I could be, because I can't really see what I'm doing. So when you see my videos, it's going to be what I call random crafting. I don't even call myself an eclectic crafter. I call myself a random crafter because you never know what I'm going to do or what I'm going to use. I just sort of look around and see. I go to thrift stores a lot, and family members and friends that will be throwing things out, well, I collect them and have over the years. And there's things that I thought were not useful to crafting that junk journaling has introduced me to that is very useful, and people want them. I regrettably say that I have thrown away quite a few of those old work basket magazines over the years because it wasn't anything I wanted, and I couldn't figure out what I could do with it. And now I'm finding people are wanting those really, really bad. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So, things like that I haven't. And then, of course, I pick up things that nobody would use or think to use that I come up with to dye papers. I put patterns on papers and whatnot. I like to teach my students using art, my lessons. One of my favorite lessons I ever did was teach chemistry. And if anybody knows anything about chemistry, you know that with chemistry, you have compounds, you have mixtures, you have all kinds of different things. And so I taught a lesson, chemistry, and we dyed papers. In order for them to dye, that's how I taught them how to make their formulas and their like for instance, everybody knows water, H2O. 1 atom of hydrogen and 2 atoms of oxygen. Well, so we would assign different colors of our dyes. First we had to mix the dyes up, and I let them play and experiment and come up with their own colors. And then we would call one color hydrogen, another color oxygen. We'd have carbon, zinc, you know, all the elements would have their own color, a majority of them, not all of them, because there are quite a few, but we had about 20 different colors. And then they would have to form and write their own compounds. And they would have to create art, dyeing paper. Like this particular paper I'm using here was some of the leftover dye we had, sparkly dye we had, that we sort of mixed up there and made some with our leftover, dyed some other papers. And they really understood, and that was the first time I'd ever had students that really understood the chemistry unit a lot. So I was pretty tickled about that. I got into crafting at a young age. My grandmother was a quilter. She also crocheted, but unfortunately I never really, she lived away, about 4 hours away, so I didn't, spent summers, and then when I went there I was playing with my cousins a lot and not really staying with them. But I did help her, and she inspired me getting into quilting. So I do quilt, I sew, I can make clothing. For a while I was a dog groomer. Got into that because I worked rescue. And it was a lot easier to groom your own dogs in rescue than to pay someone to do it. And so I had a little side business making dog clothes and collars and dog treats, which I loved. It was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that an awful lot. Until my health took me away from grooming and doing a lot of that. So now I just sort of stick around and teach and craft when I can. I was so excited a little over a year ago when I learned about junk journaling. That was something I had never heard of before. And it helps me take my DIY techniques. I'm learning a lot from watching Meri and Beth and Kathy and, well, I can't name them all. You all know, and some of you all that are probably watching, I've watched your videos about mixed media. And I'm sort of getting excited. I'm looking forward to Meri's hop of with Shannon Green doing the JB5. I just watched Keisha had a video, and Kathy came on and helped her out today and explaining it, and I was like, oh, okay, that sounds like stuff I've done, and I think I would enjoy that. So I'm trying. Been watching Beth Schuler, and she's gotten me into trying some of her stuff, and with reverse collage and different things that I have never tried before. So I'm sort of excited about mixed media now. So you all, thank you so much for expanding my horizons. And I really don't know what I'm going to get into, to be honest, and what you might see popping up on this video. But this channel, sorry, didn't really like those solid dots. So I think I'm going to go back and connect them. And what I've got left over sort of, yeah, I like that a little better. But if anybody tries this pointilism, oh my goodness, please let me know. Send me a message. I'm Creative Nana, aka Sheila, is my channel name, of course. You know that, but that's also at Gmail. Just take out the comma. Email me a picture if you try this pointillism or you've tried anything like this before. I would really love to see what people come up with. Now, one thing, and so I got off talking about other stuff, trying to make sure I was talking. I did have an idea. I didn't go dig them out. I do have some vintage coloring books that I use in some journals and stuff, so I didn't really want to pull those out. But I was thinking this would make, with Q-tips, using Q-tips, put a Q-tip in every different color, would be an awesome activity to do with children. If you've got grandchildren or young children of your own, or actually teenagers. I mean, I teach middle school. And you would be surprised how much those middle school boys love to learn crafting. They absolutely love it. So I was thinking, what if you found a coloring book page, that had big designs on it, or big drawn pictures, not a lot of little details, and then gave them Q-tips and different colors of paint and let them use Q-tips and do dots to color the images. And that would be a good way, too, for us, if we're not a artist like me. I am not an artist at all. Do not draw very well, as you can tell here. Look at my little grapevine there, but hey, not too bad. Now, when I find my purple, I'll go back and put me some purple on top of that blue and in there and fill that up on my grapes. What do you think? Not too bad for a first time, is it? Yeah, okay. I got some mushrooms. All right. I doodled out some mushrooms here. That seems to be a fad right now. People liking mushrooms. I've not done anything with mushrooms, but I thought, hey, why not just draw some out here and maybe I can use this somewhere. Worst comes to worst, I can gesso over it, Maybe I can cut some of these out. So I've got different types of mushrooms here, and I guess if anybody knows anything about mushrooms, the first one I draw was a poisonous mushroom. Why in the world did I do that? I do not know. But I sure did, didn't I? Did a portobello mushroom over here. Then our old standard mushrooms that we eat and get are up there. Sort of playing around, and down here, those little puff balls. Y'all ever have a yard that has a lot of moisture in it? And I call them puff balls. They're just little white balls that pop up in your yard. Little mushrooms. Don't know what they're called. So, of course, like I said, I'm limited. I just sort of got basic colors. So I'm just sort of playing around here. And when the video's off, I think I'll work some more on this and get out some white and lighten this up and get me some different color browns and some creams and use those in my mushrooms. I don't know, you sort of lose the little definition there, so I think I'm going to use this little one and add in something. I don't know. Maybe a little black to define it. Like Meri says, always she loves to outline in black. So maybe I can use this to an outline. Yeah, I am one of those that pours their paint into their lids. I cannot bring myself to put it in a palette or to put it on my board because like I said, I am a cheap crafter. Try to do it for free. And I thought, if I pour it out, I'm always going to have something I'm going to have to clean up and waste. Even if I put it on a rag, that I can use in something else or wipe it up with paper. But there's always going to be some that you have to throw away. And I just cannot bring myself to do that. So, what do? Put it in a lid. I know this little outline here is not exactly dots, but hey. Outlines don't count. You can add those in, and this is our own version, right? I've been seeing all the wonderful brushes that a lot of you all have. All I have is the little cheap brushes. I do not have any expensive brushes. When I say cheap, we're talking, you're going to get anywhere from 4 to 6 in a pack for $1 or $2. So when I say cheap brushes, I mean cheap brushes. So I've never painted with a really nice one, and I watch so many of y'all using some of those really good details. So I don't have a small brush. So what am I using? My hook is my brush here to do a thin line. But hey, it's working, right? That's all that matters, is that it's working here. My timer's going to go off in a minute because I wanted to set it. I did the last top, I made it so short because it was my first time. Didn't know if anybody would like it or if I could do it. Let's be honest, if I could do it. And so this time I'm trying to make it a little bit longer, so I set my timer for 20 minutes. So, pretty tickled here. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm not going to lie, and it's sort of hard to say that. I am a Christian, and being prideful is not a good thing, but I don't mean it in a boasting way, but I'm pleased with myself that I was able to come up with those grapes like that. Oh, and I am very sorry. That is my dog dreaming. Yeah, he dreams. He was a rescue, and he was rescued from a coyote attacking his mother and the litter mates when he was a few weeks old, and he's been in rescue ever since, in a wonderful life, so he has nothing bad to dream about other than that. So I'm thinking he is actually having dreams from a childhood, because he literally has nightmares and always has for years. So there he goes. He quieted down. Oh, there it goes. Okay, awesome. I'm also not a person, as you can see. I do my videos and I post them that way. I do not edit videos. I like people. I think that's why I love watching Meri so much. And a few of the others. I love what I call real people. I like to see the mistakes. I like to see the bad, not the bad things. That's a bad way to put it. A horrible way to put it. But the things happen in life. Things happening in life. But mushrooms aren't turning out too good. I'm going to get out some better paints. I do have some better paints than these. But I'm really pleased with my grapes there. I think that will be a really, really awesome. I like that. I'm going to keep working on this pointilism, creating things with dots. And like I said, if you do them, hit me up, shoot me an email, and send me some pictures of things you've done, or post them on the different sites that we're in. We're in so many different groups together. And obviously, post them in Phibbsville. And we'll see them there. I would love to see them. And guys, thank you so much for coming and continuing this wonderful hop. See you, journalistas. Bye.